What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Generational Sports. You know, me and Josh here as always, and we're joined by a very special guest. It's been a long time in the making, if we say so ourselves, Mr. Wise Cheese, or as he said today, Cowboy Cheese. What's going on there, brother?
Nothing much. It's an honor to be on this fantastic show. I've been looking forward to this day. I've always been in the comments pumping you guys up, and I'm definitely excited to be talking about all things sports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Josh, how are you, my friend?
It's been an interesting day, but we'll get into that, why it's interesting. But, can't complain. It's been...
we might have to add another little jersey up into that collection for all the people out there, But like he said, before we get into everything, it's time to pay the bills, as I always like to say. Okay, people? So if you're into the betting world, make sure you go over to mybookie.ag and use code USN100 to double your first deposit up to $1,000. Listen, if you want to bet on something, that's the place to go. We got baseball on right now. I'm watching a lovely Yankee game. As you can see behind me, got the Yankee stuff up right in front of me. Oh, lovely time of the year. We got basketball. Hey, listen, March Madness, the final is tonight. Get your bets in now. Make sure you go over there, use my bookie. Next up, we have RX Hemp, RxHemp-USN. Will save you 10% on your entire order. They got the premium CBD creams over there, hot and cold. So if you're a little sore from life, I might be a little sore after I get my second shot tomorrow. Might have to rub a little RX Hemp on the arm, feel brand new when I wake up in the morning. Next up, the Teespring store, teespring.com/stores/unwrapped. Go check it out. We obviously have the unwrapped gear. And then if there's a show that you simply enjoy on the live lineup, possibly like this one, you can go and check out our merchandise, purchase some of it, put a little dinero in the pocket, okay? We like doing this, but I like money even more. I like money more than Josh, more than Matt, okay? I'm just saying. I'm sorry, but I do. And then finally, the Patreon store. This is a little bit of a double whammy for you people, okay? So $1, you're just supporting the squad, letting us know you like what we do. Oh, here we go. We already got Christian in the comments. Darnold Panther, Super Bowl incoming. Listen, Christian, we're gonna get into that. You're gonna make Josh, have to go change his pants if you keep bringing stuff like that. So calm down right now. But the Patreon, $1, you're just supporting the team, making showing us that you like what we do. $5, you get 10% off that store that I was just talking about. You also get entered into a gift card giveaway and access to our Discord chat where you're like an honorary member of the Unwrapped fam. So make sure you go and check that out. And then the $10 tier, the money maker. You get everything I just said, except that 10% discount goes to 20%, and you get entered into a signed memorabilia jersey giveaway. Or not jersey, signed memorabilia. Each month we're giving away something different. I believe, let's see. So February we gave away Keenan Allen. Last month we gave away the David Montgomery. I don't know what's coming on. I don't know what this month is. I'm not sure yet. I don't think we released it yet. But when we know that information, I will make sure everybody knows. But with that being said, you guys know how we start the show over here. Josh, I didn't even ask you, but I'm assuming you have the Who Am I because, we got Mr. Cheese up here. And I'll say one thing. He's always in the comments getting these things correct. So I have very high expectations for Matt right now.
So do I. So it's a tough one. It's not going to be a cakewalk.
All right.
We're going to be nice, though. Skur's our nice guest. I'm going to give him a minute 50. Usually, a minute 30. We'll give him that extra 20 seconds, really rack the brain.
All right.
I was drafted in the 6th round of the 2010 draft.
The 6th round, 2010 draft. What position?
He is a running back.
6th round, 2010. You said running back?
Running back.
What about what teams did he play for?
He spent his entire career with the Packers.
So you're talking about James Starks?
I am talking about James
That's
Starks.
Unbelievable.
There we go.
That's unbelievable. Look at that. See? Josh, you tried. You said it. You said it in our text messages, and let me tell you something. I wouldn't have got it. I wouldn't have got that, especially only on the third hint. I would have needed something else.
Yeah.
But
I will say that was definitely a great Who Am I player. James Starks definitely has some great years. with the Green Bay Packers. I will say that.
He would just always show up once or twice in a game and have a monster run.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite Tyrone Calico difficulty, but you know.
No.
Yeah, Tyrone Calico was a wild card. I've never heard of that before in my life.
Gosh,
You guys clearly aren't playing Madden enough.
I do now, so now I'm well aware of him. Like I see him everywhere.
It's nice.
But I mean, come on, dude.
Yo, listen, here's I still got beef with Madden, okay, by the way. I got my new Xbox. Guys, you can kind of see the monitor right here, by the way. The gaming setup is coming along very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, downloaded the next gen series of Madden thinking, oh, they probably only banned me off of, you know, the other Madden. No. I download it, spent my hard time downloading that game. I click on it. What am I? Banned.
How did you get banned in the first place again?
I sold coins. And you know what? If you're asking me, that they're just mad because I'm a better businessman than them.
That's true.
Hey, Connie is for the people. Hashtag free Connie.
You know, hashtag free Connie, please. Madden, I don't even care if you want me back in the Ultimate Team. I'm just trying to play like online franchises or the yard. Like, come on, bro. You're going to make me make a whole separate burner account. We're going to look like KD out here. But anyway, let's get into the stories because that's what everybody is here for. And you know what, Matt, I think me and you got to sit out on this one. We have to sit out because, you know, a couple hours before we came on, the news came across the feed. Sam Darnold, no longer a Jets quarterback. He's been traded to the Panthers for a 2021 sixth-rounder, a second, and a fourth in 2022. Let me say, first of all, that's more than I thought that they would get for Sam Darnold. But, Josh, they're your team. That's your baby.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, first I just want to say, you know, shout out Teddy Bridgewater. Came in a year, you know, where didn't know it was going to happen. Performed solid, but definitely made this offense look not as good as it should have been. And, you know, Sam Darnold is a guy who's never had an offense like this. He's never had a Joe Brady, never even really had because, I mean, Robbie Anderson has been his best receiver that he's ever had, and he's our number 2. So we have a running back like he's never had before. I don't think we've got to see his true potential yet, like really what he's capable of. But I also think, you know, it's a good move for us because obviously Watson's not coming. He's got his own thing to deal with off the field. So I didn't even want him on my team anymore. I think Darnold it's a good shot because, I mean, he is getting paid $18 million, which is quite a lot because we're already paying, you know, Teddy 20 plus. So hopefully we can move Teddy somewhere, get something else. I do think we overpaid, you know, a second, a fourth, and a sixth for – I mean, I think we could have got him for cheaper if we threw in a player or something, but I guess that's the deal we went with. But I'm excited to see what this offense can do. It's going to be different. I mean, Teddy was very, very, like, cautious. He didn't throw any deep balls that weren't wide open. Darnold is not going to be like that. He's going to take his chances. And I'm excited to see what, you know, Matt Rule and Joe Brady can draw up for him.
Skirl, let me hear let me hear it. What's going on, Perry, Monique in the chat as well. Appreciate all the love.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate all love around here. I feel like it is an interesting move by the Panthers. I was definitely shocked that the Panthers made the move. I thought it would be one of those where we would kind of wait and see until draft day, you know, in about 4 weeks from now, to see what kind of move the Panthers would make. But I feel like this sends a clear message to me that the Panthers kind of looked at their number 8th overall pick and they kind of figured, you know, Fields might be off the board, Lawrence might be off the board, as well as Zach Wilson. We don't really want Trey Lance or Mac Jones at number 8. So I feel like the Panthers just looked at that and said, you know, as much as they probably wanted Deshaun Watson, they probably don't want all of that baggage that Deshaun Watson has with them going on. And they kind of looked at all the other QB options available and said, you know, we don't want the red rifle Andy Dalton. We don't want him. And they kind of look at the situation that the Jets have at the number 2 overall pick, all their rumors, whether they're going to get Zach Wilson, whether they're getting Justin Fields. And the Panthers made a move. Hey, why don't we get Sam Darnold here, solve our QB problems, and then we could go in at the number 8 overall pick with the higher standard. So I like this move by the Panthers. I feel like this is definitely a make or break move for Sam Darnold. This is a move that will define his career, whether he's going to be a bust or whether he's going to be a solid quarterback. Because as of right now, I personally am giving Sam Darnold the benefit of the doubt because he hasn't had good coaches. He had Todd Bowles for a year. He was a horrible head coach, only one good year with the Jets. Solid defensive coordinator for Tampa, but not a good head coach. And then he had 2 years of Adam Gase, and that has been an utter disaster. So this move is going to prove to me whether Sam Darnold is a problem or a good quarterback. But overall, I'm excited to see what the Panthers will do with Sam Darnold. And Josh might like this one. I feel like Kyle Pitts at number 8 to the Panthers. I feel like he could be what Cam Newton was with Greg Olsen. I feel like you got Sam Darnold, Kyle Pitts. That could be a good 1-2 punch combo, especially with the offense that the Panthers already have. They could definitely be a team, maybe not this year, but in a couple years, could be vying for a playoff spot in the NFC.
Yeah, I don't want to get into grading the trade yet. I think that's a stupid thing to do. I saw Troy Wingo, me and Josh's buddy, tweet out something today.
No, I still haven't gotten the follow back.
He's my buddy. I'll tell you that. Shout out Trey. Anyway, about grading trades when we don't know what's going to happen yet. Like this, it can go either way right now. Like I've made it known I'm not a Sam believer anymore. Maybe coming out of the draft, I think I got caught up in the hype because, listen, I've said this before. College is my thing. So if you tell me they're good, sure, I'll believe you because I don't know any better. It's the blind leading the blind if you were talking about college sports with me. So, I thought he was going to be all right, maybe turn the Jets around. But like we said, you can't do anything with coaching. I mean, with the coaches he had, Adam Gase, he leaves the Dolphins. The entire organization got better, not a player like Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill changed the trajectory of his career, got better. The organization got better. Like we thought the Dolphins were a dumpster fire, and now we're like, oh yeah, they can compete. Like, and I put that on Adam Gase. Alex, Patriots are going to trade up and draft Pitts to run a 3 tight end set. Listen, let me tell you, Alex. Don't tell anybody else. I wouldn't mind. I really wouldn't mind. Or put that man out wide because he's basically a wide receiver playing tight end.
Could you imagine as a defense trying to guard Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, and Kyle Pitts?
Listen, all I'm saying is I don't even want a fifth lineman out there. Just put Kyle Pitts or one of them out there and then turn them loose every play. We'll have 4 blockers. It might be a little iffy back there, but Cam can run. We've seen it. But anyway, we'll get back to Sam Darnold. Listen, it can go either way right now because we can look at this trade right now, and if you believe in Sam, you think it's good for him. If you didn't believe in Sam, you might think it's good for the Jets. If Sam turns out to be good, the Panthers automatically win the trade. Automatically, because if you have a good quarterback in the NFL, you win anything you do. If Sam Darnold turns out to be all right, then you can start getting into who wins the trade because you can't grade anything until we find out what these draft picks turn into. I mean, if all of a sudden the Jets go out and draft some god in the 6th round, a day 1 starter in the 2nd round, and then what was it, a 4th round pick as well? So yeah, if they go out and somehow end up doing that, which listen, I don't believe in. If you've ever seen the Jets, do anything, they don't really do it well. But if that somehow happens, then the Jets win the trade. So it's going to go up in the air. This obviously makes room for Zach Wilson. There's not going to be that quarterback controversy, even though I don't think there would have been one anyway. This erases all doubt of what they were going to do with the 2 pick. Some people thought, yeah, just stick with Sam, get him a wide receiver, get him, some more protection, this, that, and the third. It's over now. It is over now. But, Josh, here's another question I have for you, just for this trade. Because the Panthers have the 8th pick.
Yeah.
So, do you like this trade? All right. Well, I'll say it this way first. Who did you want at that 8th pick before this trade happened?
I wanted Justin Fields. That's kind of who I wanted there. I don't think he'd been available, and I probably would have been happy with Trey Lance too.
So, with this trade happening, obviously Sam's going to be your quarterback. You're probably taking somebody else at 8. If Fields somehow is available at 8, does that change your mind on the trade?
No. Well, I really think like you said, I think I have to wait until the season starts and we see how Darnold looks. Because I mean, if Fields and Lance are sitting there at 8 somehow, and we don't draft either of them, I won't be mad because I mean we traded for Darnold, gave up a few picks for him, so I wouldn't be too upset. Even if I mean he's got to play good though. Obviously, if he plays bad and he's just the same old Sam Darnold, then I'm gonna probably look at Trey Lance and Justin Fields, which one of the two will probably go on to have a good career and be like, damn, we could have had them. But I'm happy with it right now because I think he's going to be really good for us. But with the 8th pick now, it's the dream is Penei Sewell. That's who I really want. But I don't think he falls to 8. I do think he's too good to fall that far. And then Kyle Pitts.
Would you take the other tackle?
No, I don't think. I think he's good too. I think he's going to be solid, but I don't know if he's worth that 8th pick, especially because we are pretty good at tackle right now. But we have Sewell. I think it'd be a huge upgrade. But then Kyle Pitts is the other dream pick because we can put him at tight end because we don't have a tight end. So he can come in there and be that guy for us, and then we have our threats on the outside. But I like where we're at. I like this.
Now, Matt, I know you mentioned some things. I know you mentioned Kyle Pitts. Obviously, Josh has mentioned Sewell. What do you think they should do at that 8th pick?
What I think they should do at the 8th pick, I feel like they should go with whatever the best offensive weapon. You know, whether that be somehow if Jamar Chase falls to number 8, if I'm the Panthers, I'd say why not add Jamar Chase to that lineup? Even though you do have DJ Moore and you have Robbie Anderson, doesn't hurt to have a third receiver there as Jamar Chase. And knowing the kind of ceiling that we have, a lot of people forget Jamar Chase before he opted out last year of college, he was the best receiver in college football and helped LSU win the national championship. Like I know a lot of people say Devontae Smith, and he had a phenomenal year last year in college, win the Heisman Trophy. But Jamar Chase is up there as one of the top receivers in this upcoming draft. So if I'm the Panthers and if I'm the Panthers, I feel like it's either Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase at number 8. Now, I will say, Josh, I do love the mention of Penei Sewell. If he's there at number 8, I might go with that route just because I feel like the key in the NFL is to have a solid protection because we saw what happened in the Super Bowl 55 when the Chiefs didn't have their 2 best tackles. Mahomes on a bad toe was running for his life, and it did not work out well. So my opinion for the Panthers, at pick number 8, they should just worry about the offense. Now, if you want to go with a hot take, maybe Micah Parsons at number 8, if he's still available, that could be something interesting if the Panthers wanted to work on defense. But I think Josh mentioned before last draft they kind of did more defensive oriented. So I don't think
all defense.
I don't think
single offense.
Yeah, exactly. If they went all defense last year, I think this year they're probably going to be focusing on the offense. But I also kind of want to touch on a little bit of the Sam Darnold trade. This is almost kind of like the same situation Carson Wentz is with Indianapolis. Carson Wentz kind of had a fallout with Philadelphia where he didn't seem to fit in near the end, and now he has to prove himself if he can retain that 2017 almost Carson Wentz for MVP form that he once had. This is kind of the same situation with Sam Darnold with the Carolina Panthers. He did not have good years with the Jets. He was drafted very high by the Jets, I believe. Wasn't he a top 5 pick with the Jets?
He was. I want to say he was the third. Yeah, I want to say he was the third pick.
Yeah, he was about a 3rd overall pick. So when you're a QB and you're a 3rd overall pick, you got high expectations.
See, and this is my point that I think has to be driven home. As CJ says right here, if they get Pitts or Chase and Sam is still dirt, it's clipped. Mm-hmm. Bro, if you have DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Kyle Pitts, CMC, and a defense, Josh, that you really like, and you are bad, you're done. I mean, at that point, I haven't been defending Sam anyway, so it just helps me prove he was bad. But for the people out there that are defending Sam, if he's bad in a situation like that, and obviously we don't know what's going to happen in the draft. We all got to wait for that to actually happen. But if they get one of these star offensive players and he's bad, in my opinion, there's no way you recover from that.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree with you on that. This is the year where Sam Darnold needs to prove that he doesn't have to be an elite quarterback, just a solid quarterback, a quarterback that could make. Because in my opinion, right now, if Carolina does things correctly, if at pick number 8 they take Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase, if Sam Darnold returns to form, we're talking about a Carolina Panthers team. I believe, Josh, didn't they win about five or 6 games last year?
I think we won 7.
Even better if you won 7. I feel like if you got Sam Darnold with those weapons, I feel like the standard should be at least at a bare minimum 7 wins. If the Panthers could find a way to win 7 games or more next year, I feel like it would be fantastic for Sam Darnold. But it's to be determined. We'll see what the Panthers do at the draft. And hopefully, for Josh's sake, Sam Darnold could be great, because I'll tell you right now, if Sam Darnold is not good, and like Josh mentioned earlier, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, they look better, Josh is probably going to be saying, damn, we could have had either one of those young players and be in a good position. And now we're stuck.
I'm getting a Darnold jersey too. It's happening.
Who you are?
It's going to be pretty sad.
I want opening week NFL up behind you.
Yeah, I better see a Cam Newton jersey like the one on the right.
I don't want the Cam one. I want Robbie and Sam.
I'll try.
Okay.
That's what I want.
I'm definitely getting a Darnold jersey. The only other jersey I really want is Brian Burns one. So that'd be the only other one.
Do you have a McCaffrey jersey?
No, I only got the Cam's, the only Panthers
That's
one
disgusting.
I got.
How do you not have a Cam?
You have to get a CMC jersey. It's the new era.
I know, I do. I just haven't gotten any new ones in a while.
You know what, Josh? You're disappointing me.
They'll be on the way soon, though, before the season starts.
Listen, we're talking heavy about quarterbacks right now. We're going to get even more into it because with the draft coming up, this kind of, takes away a spot in the draft where people thought could go quarterback. With that being said, and Josh, we'll start with you. How many quarterbacks do you think go in the first round? And if you want to go further than that, maybe an opinion on who takes who.
I think that there's going to be at least 5 taken, possibly 6.
And you know what the crazy thing is, Josh, before you say anything else? About one of them are going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously the top 3, we all believe, are set. The top 2 for sure, Lawrence and Zach Wilson. And then 3, they say they still love Jimmy, but I think it'll be Justin Fields that goes there.
See, that's the thing. I think it's Mac Jones.
I could see it being Mac Jones too, I think Mac Jones, I could see why they want to, but I think they should be smart and look at all these Alabama quarterbacks that played really good in college, but just doesn't always translate.
Hey,
so
don't disrespect. I'm sorry to interrupt. Don't disrespect AJ McCarron on the Bengals. Remember that playoff in 2015 when he almost gave the Bengals their first playoff win?
And then the Bills almost made him their franchise guy. But one move that I really do want to see now that we're not going to take a quarterback, I want Trey Lance to go 9 to the Broncos. I think he'd be awesome there. All the talent over there that they have too. I think that'd be fun to watch. And then I think your Patriots take Mac Jones. I think he falls that far. I don't see him going 3 to the 49ers. And then Kellen Mond could go at the very end of the round to some team, someone like that.
I heard the Saints are a little interested in the kid.
He's good. I mean, A&M was not bad last year, and he was really good for them. So I'd be excited for that too. But yeah, 6. I'd say 5 or 6.
Matt, what you think?
I'd say about the same thing about Josh. I'd say about 5 or 6. I feel like definitely. Ooh, chef's kiss. All right. I'd definitely say Trevor Lawrence for sure, number 1 at Jacksonville. That's definitely a no-brainer. I feel like if the Jaguars somehow, some way draft Zach Wilson, the GM better be fired ASAP and just relocate the team out of Jacksonville. Just the Jacksonville fans do not deserve this if they somehow whiff on Trevor Lawrence. But that's not going to happen because, trust me, even a blind man could pick Trevor Lawrence as number 1 overall pick. I feel like number 2, I feel like it's going to be Zach Wilson with Sam Darnold out of New York. That just seals the deal for me that they're going with the QB. Connie, I feel like your take is interesting with Mac Jones. I feel like if the 49ers do take Mac Jones at number 3, that probably means you're going to roll with Garoppolo the last 2 years and then put in Mac Jones. But
the thing with that is too, though, Jimmy's been injured these past few years, so you might try to roll with Jimmy, but Mac Jones I bet you ends up playing this year or whoever they draft because Jimmy will get hurt. But it was my bad. Continue.
But if the 49ers don't believe in Jimmy Garoppolo, I do like Josh's point and them taking Justin Fields at number 3. But the 49ers are definitely taking a quarterback at number 3. I was whenever the Niners made that move, I was kind of tossing up in my head, whether they'll go with the lineman and Penei Sewell, whether they might go crazy, get a double tight end set with Kittle and Pitts like that. That would be super lethal. But I'm kind of thinking of it now. I feel like they're going more of a QB route, especially with how Garoppolo's contract is looking. I mean, you look at if the 49ers cut Jimmy Garoppolo, they're saving almost $20 million in cap space. It's not like they got to take on dead money, only like $2 million. But I feel like for the 49ers, it'll be interesting to see what they do in the draft and also the quarterback. If they believe in Garoppolo, Connie, with you saying Mac Jones, that makes sense. But if they don't believe in Jimmy Garoppolo, you best believe they're taking Justin Fields at the number 3 quarterback. Now, my 4th quarterback that I believe will be drafted, I do believe it will be Trey Lance. I do definitely like Josh's take of Trey Lance to the Broncos. I feel like it's definitely interesting. I mean, Drew Lock, he had some flashes. I believe it was 2 years ago when he went 4-1 as a starter, almost the final 5 games. And, you saw him on the sideline quoting the song Put On, looking real clever.
Yes, sir.
And then, last year was a dumpster fire, full of injuries. At one point, the Broncos didn't even have a quarterback and had a receiver start. I mean, I feel like if I'm the Broncos, my personal opinion, I feel like you give Drew Lock another chance when he's fully healthy with his weapons. And then if he underperforms again, then you take a QB next year. Or you go with the approach, draft Trey Lance, have him be the backup, and wait until Drew Lock hiccups. Not I'd say hiccup 1 week, but if it's consistent, if he has like 2 or 3 straight weeks of awful performance, you put Trey Lance in there, let him ride it out, and bam, you got your QB. And the next QB that I believe will be drafted is definitely, and I believe this will be my 5th quarterback, will be Mac Jones. I do believe Mac Jones will be drafted in the 1st round, but I feel like it'll be in more of a late 1st round. I definitely feel it interesting with the New Orleans Saints. I mean, I feel like if the Saints draft a QB late in the 1st round, it could be like the same situation they had last year when they had Breeze, Winston, Taysom Hill. You'd have Breeze as your starter, Winston as your backup, and then Taysom Hill you could use as your gadget guy, and then your 3rd-string QB. If the Saints want to try and repeat that same success, I wouldn't be shocked if they take Mac Jones at the 3rd as their quarterback, have Jameis Winston start, Mr. 30 for 30, have Mac Jones be the backup, and then have Taysom Hill be, your gadget guy. So I think it's going to be five quarterbacks. I have heard a lot of things about Kellen Mond, which have been good things, but I don't think he'll be drafted in the 1st round. I definitely feel like maybe early 2nd, maybe in the 2nd round, I could see Kellen Mond being drafted there. Or who knows, maybe it could be crazy. It could be a crazy draft, and maybe one of those teams late, maybe the Buccaneers want to go wild and say, hey, we'll take Kellen Mond. We'll take him at pick number 32 and make 6 quarterbacks. We'll just let Brady ride it out for 4 years and have Kellen Mond just replace him and then just continue the Buccaneers dynasty. It could be crazy, but I do agree with Josh. I do believe it'll be 5 to 6 quarterbacks drafted in the 1st round, with maybe 1 for sure being successful, maybe 2 or 3 being average, and then 1 of them might be just a bona fide bust.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with the pack and go. I'm going to go 6 because I think mine is going to end up getting drafted. I have the draft order up right here, so it makes my life a little bit easier. Just going off of this, I definitely – well, obviously, we know the 1st round set. It's going, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. I still think that Mac Jones is going 3rd. I don't know why. I've heard a lot of reporting about it. I was watching Cowherd today. Listen, I was bored, okay? So I was watching him. But, he's hearing from like NFL executives that, especially one of them, said that they would be shocked if the 49ers didn't take him. I'm just going to go with the reporting because, like I said, I don't really know too much. And then there's other people saying that this is an absolute reach. We're going to find out on draft day, and it's going to be a lot of fun. That's all I know. So that's 3 minimum because I think the first 3 teams are taking a quarterback. This is my hot take. I think the Falcons are going to take one. I really think the Falcons take a quarterback because I don't know. I just think that they're a little bit sick of Matt Ryan. I know they transferred a lot of his
I
money.
feel like it's the exact opposite. I feel like they should have drafted a quarterback recently, but haven't. I don't think they will again.
I don't know. I
could see them taking Jamar Chase. Like that's just seems like
I could see that too. But first of all, they have to take somebody on defense because their team is just god awful on defense.
Yeah, I was thinking. Sorry to cut you off, Connie. I was thinking if they're going to go defense, Micah Parsons or Surtain from Alabama, you take either one of those two players at the 4th overall pick, your defense will be slightly better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've just heard like the little rumblings about it, and I could see it happening. So I don't know. Maybe it's the inner, communications major in me that I want a storyline and a weird twist into the movie that is the NFL draft. But I kind of want to see that happen. And if they do pick a quarterback, I think it's Fields. I think it's Fields.
If he can blossom over there, if that team can get him right and he could be his full potential with Julio, Calvin Ridley, and whatever else to add to that offense, that'd be fine. Yeah,
so I mean, I'll have the Falcons taking a quarterback. Maybe it doesn't happen, but I think it would just be fun, so I want it to happen. I guess the Broncos are going to end up taking a quarterback as well. I could see that obviously happening. I mean, I assume that they go Trey Lance there. I don't think that they would go Mac Jones, and then I'm scared, bro. I really I think the Patriots are going to take him. And I say I don't want it to happen, but then I also say that I don't watch college sports, so I contradict myself. I don't know why. I just feel like Mac Jones. Listen, here's my thing, actually. You know what? This is what it is. Even Robert Kraft came out and said that the Patriots can't draft. So I'm a little scared of whoever they drafted in that position of the draft. I don't care if it was Trevor Lawrence that they drafted at that position. I'd still be a little nervous. So
don't they draft good defensively? It's just horrible offensively.
I mean, it's mid. I mean, we drafted Devin McCourty, Dante Hightower, some people like that, but there's definitely others that we've whiffed on. Shout out Cyrus Jones. Oh my God,
Sony Michel.
Garbage. Oh, yeah, well, that was offense. I was going defense.
Oh,
and then I think the Saints are going to end up taking another quarterback. I think that Mond is going to be that sixth quarterback that goes to them, pick number 28. I think that they're just in such a weird position with quarterbacks. I don't think that they really believe in Jameis. I don't think that they believe. Oh my God, did my dad Aaron Judge just hit a home run? Yes, he did. We love Aaron Judge. He got the gap.
Wait,
fixed.
where does Brady fit? I thought Brady was your dad. Is it different seasons? Is it football season? Football season, Brady's your dad.
Yes,
but when it's
absolutely.
baseball, it's all rise.
Absolutely, all rise for Aaron Judge. That's my MLB dad. Brady's my football dad. I'll go Kevin Durant basketball, and then hockey. You can pick whoever you want. I don't care. Maybe Lundqvist because he was on the Rangers for a long time. But anyway, back to this. Wait, I forgot where I was. Oh no, the Saints don't. I don't think the Saints trust anybody. I don't think that they really trust Hill like that. I mean, listen, we just have some stupid podcast. I don't see the Taysom Hill thing. I need somebody in the NFL world to explain to me why the hell people like Taysom Hill. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I think that they'll draft a quarterback because they don't really believe in either one of them. They're just saying it for, shits and giggles, as some people say. And then they'll hope that mine works out. But I'm going to go with 6 quarterbacks and a little change up with the Falcons taking one. Because why not? First 4 picks in the draft. And Matt, you're right. I said it before. One person is going to be a good quarterback. Literally one. There's been like 8 quarterbacks over the past 10 years that I think you can actually say were worth a first-round pick. Like, I mean, well, Josh, this will make you happy. Cam Newton was worth it. I think Josh Allen was obviously worth it. Mahomes. I think Herbert's going to be worth it. Kyler Murray was worth it, in my opinion, at least. I mean, the list is slim. Lamar Jackson. No, I couldn't. I was trying to remember. Don't worry.
Andrew Luck, technically.
Yes, Andrew Luck. That was the other one. That was absolutely the other one. So I think
RG3, if it wasn't for injuries, RG3 would have been
Yeah,
worth
but
the
but
first round pick.
that's the thing.
But-
There were injuries, so it doesn't technically work out,
Doesn't-
So and one of these players are going to be good, maybe two at best, and then the other ones are going to be here and there. And, maybe it'll be like, 2016 was that Wentz and Goff, drafted back-to-back, both traded now. So you never know what's going to happen. But another position that's kind of stacked in this draft, sort of like last year, is the wide receiver position. Just quickly, I want it. I want to hear it. Who's the first wide receiver taken? Stake your claim right now. Josh, who is it?
I really think Jamar Chase is going to Atlanta. Like, the wide receiver is the last thing they need, but it just seems like
Which
such an
means that's
Atlanta
why they'll
move.
draft.
Yeah, it's such an Atlanta move. I think he goes for.
I thought it was going to be a curveball with this, but I agree with Josh. I believe it's going to be Jamar Chase. Now, I don't think it's going to be to Atlanta. I think it's going to be to Cincinnati. I feel like Joe Burrow is going to throw his claim and say, hey, draft Burrow at 5 and then go offensive lineman, second, third, even fourth round pick, and then just bolster up the line. I feel like a reuniting of Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I mean, we saw that combo in college, and that worked to a T because Burrow won a Heisman, LSU won a national championship, and Jamar Chase pretty much was the best receiver in college football. And I feel like – and, I mean, you look at Devontae Smith. Yes, he had a phenomenal year. He had a phenomenal year last year. Won the Heisman, did pretty much everything. But you look at – besides that year, his only highlighting moment was that game-winning touchdown in the national championship game back in 2018 when Atlanta Sports was still being the choke artist that they still are to this day. But Devontae Smith was kind of behind a lot of receivers because a lot of people forget Alabama was loaded. They had Jerry Jeudy, they had Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, and then it was Smith. Eventually, he worked his way up to being the best receiver that we see him as today. But I just feel like Jamar Chase to Cincinnati, I feel like that's the best option at number 5. Now, don't get me wrong, you could make a case for Devontae Smith, but I just feel like what we saw out of Jamar Chase, I still feel like he's going to be the first receiver that will be drafted. And I do believe it will be to the Cincinnati Bengals.
I probably would have went Jamar Chase, but, that gets boring. It gets boring. So you know what? Just like my Atlanta Falcons quarterback pick, I'm going to change this one up as well. For some reason, Jalen Waddle's going to go ahead of everybody.
Oh.
He's going ahead of Smith. He's going ahead of Chase. I don't know. I don't think, I really could see the Falcons doing it, Josh, now that you mention it. Like, it just makes sense because they're stupid. I think, I disagree with you, Matt, though. I think if the Bengals pick anything other than the lineman, the GM should immediately be arrested for plotting against Joe Burrow.
For manslaughter against Burrow?
Assisted, whatever.
Attempted murder.
Yeah, attempted murder. Thank you. That's the one I was looking for. I think he's immediately arrested for attempted murder, goes to prison for a few years. I think the first team that takes a quarterback is the Dolphins. So I'm going to go with, Waddle to the Dolphins, pair up, Will Fuller, Devontae Parker with Waddle, get to a nice little weapon, and we'll see what happens.
And I know. Oh, I'm sorry. I know you guys mentioned the Falcons pulling off dumb moves. It's not as dumb as your team making it to the NFC Championship game and then drafting a third-string quarterback in the first round. That is dumb.
Well, Matt, that's what I know you like to bring up your Packers, and that was a perfect segue, believe it or not, because that's what we're doing next. What do you want your team to draft? Matt, I'm going to let you go first since you perfectly segued into it.
What do I want the Green Bay Packers to draft at number 29? I mean, there are many options I want. I do not want them to fuck up and draft a third-string running back. I do not want that because I feel like that would be an utter disaster. I would lose my shit, and I would not know what to do with my life if that happened. But I do not think it will happen. I do believe we're going into the crunch time now. Aaron Rodgers' time is limited. It's not unlimited like I always thought it was. It's pretty much limited. This year for Green Bay, how they draft will determine to me how we're going to be. Are we going to be an NFC Championship game runner-up to Tampa Bay or San Francisco, or are we finally going to jump over the hump? And I feel like with this first round pick, if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I gotta get another weapon. I need another weapon. Hopefully, if Terrence Marshall is at 29, give me Terrence Marshall out of LSU. Because if there's one thing that Green Bay is lacking, is another weapon. Green Bay has everything else. They have the quarterback. They have a solid offensive line. Even though we lost Corey Linsley, I'm not worried about that because Green Bay is known for developing offensive linemen. Look at Elton Jenkins. He's turned into be a stud. I feel like you move him to center or one of our other centers that we have. Our O-line's going to be perfectly fine, especially with Bakhtiari returning. We'll be chilling. We got the running back in Aaron Jones. Was I shocked that we paid Aaron Jones? Absolutely. But we still got him. We got Quadzilla and A.J. Dillon. I'm excited to see what he does. That's 3 right there. And you got the best receiver in the NFL, Devontae Adams. That's right. He's the best receiver in the NFL. I don't want to hear no DeAndre Hopkins BS. My man's had 18 touchdowns, and he missed 4 games. 18 touchdowns. He could have broke Randy Moss's record if he was healthy. Dead ass.
Shout out Devontae Adams for carrying the fantasy squad, though. Appreciate you, boss.
And on top of that, our defense is slightly improving. We finally got rid of Mike Pettin, that bum that held back our defense. Why the hell would you leave Kevin King one-on-one with Scotty Miller with 8 seconds left in the NFC Championship game at halftime? I don't know why that happened. It was literally the worst play I've ever seen. I would have fired Pettin at halftime. Hell, I would have fired Pettin last year after we got our ass kicked by San Francisco. Because what was the one thing that San Francisco was good at last year? The
running
run.
The ball.
And Raheem Mostert decides to run for 200-plus yards. So hopefully our defense improves, which I think it will. I feel like we could be one of those dark horse top 10 defensive units. But sticking with the draft, please draft somebody offensively. Now, if they go defense, maybe a corner or a linebacker. But most preferably another receiver because pretty much our only good receiver we got is Devontae Adams. Devin Funchess, my man hasn't played in 2 years. He played 1 game with the Colts, got hurt. Opted out last year because of unforeseen circumstances. And really the only time we saw Devin Funchess was 3 years ago in Carolina, and he was all right. You know, he wasn't like off the charts. He was okay. And I hate to break it, but if a okay receiver Funchess is my number 2, and he hasn't had a good year in like 3 years and hasn't played for almost 2 years, that's kind of concerning to me. Now, Alan Lazard, I love Alan Lazard. Lizard man, I love me some Alan Lizard. But, I mean, he's an okay receiver. And Marquez Valdez-Scantling is too inconsistent for me. He makes great plays in the NFC Championship game, but then drops a gimme ball twice and then fumbles a ball to lose a game. He's too inconsistent. If we draft a receiver in the NFL draft, I will be happy for 1 round.
Josh, the floor is yours. Be the GM.
I want Pitts or Sewell. I don't think Sewell will be there. Hopefully Pitts will be, but I just want, like Matt made good points earlier, we need skill position. I think going defense doesn't do a lot because our defense it's either going to improve a lot this year or it's going to be around the same. I don't think drafting a Patrick Surtain or a Micah Parsons really changes anything as much as Kyle Pitts would. So I think we go Kyle Pitts. If I'd be really shocked if we did still take a quarterback. That'd be very interesting, and I'd probably be pretty upset about that. So I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Josh. Here's one thing I will say: if the Panthers draft the QB at number 8, I expect Teddy Bridgewater to be traded.
I expect him to be traded anyway. I don't think he'll be here by the start of the season. So I don't think we'll have Will Grier will be our number 2 quarterback. Because I mean, what's the point of paying 2 quarterbacks? $18+ million. You only need one of them. So I think we get rid of – because we're already going to try to move off of Teddy, so it would be pointless to have him and Darnold there when we could get, a couple picks for him, maybe. But, yeah, in order, I'd want it to go Sewell, Pitts, and then Jamar Chase. And then if all of them are gone, then I'd be okay with someone like Patrick Surtain.
Listen to me, Bill. Eye contact right now. You ready for this? Just draft a receiver. Just draft a receiver, bro. Listen, I understand you like your JUCO, Northern Texas, Alabama State, weird-ass player that nobody's ever heard of. But just do me a favor. Draft the best available player. Don't do something crazy. Listen, your owner, Robert Kraft, Mr. Mac and Cheese, came out and said that you can't draft. That's why they had to spend so much money in free agency. So for the love of God, if Devontae Smith's there, fine. If Waddle's there, fine. I'll even take listen, I don't even know if he's actually good. I'm pretty sure he is. Bro, my boy who barely watches football, Rondell Moore, he sends me every single highlight from him. He's like, bro, this kid's a beast. So you know what? Even at that point, I'll take him because at least it'll be a flash or something like that. I'm just telling you, if I got to hear, Josh Skura out of New York State Tech, I'm going to lose my mind. Because I can't go through another thing of that, Bill. So just draft a receiver, finish out the offense. We got Bourne. We got Aguilar. Edelman's going to come back. Myers was pretty promising. We got our tight end set even. Our line is fine. Listen, I'm not a fan of Cam. No, absolutely not. But, we'll find a quarterback a little bit later, okay? Or wait until next year. Don't give me no Mac Jones or somebody like that. Listen, because I think that there's a drop-off after Trevor Lawrence anyway. So, no thanks. You had your chance to go 0-16 like I said they should, and they didn't do it. So the defense is fine. We got McCourty. We got Duggar's going to play safety instead of, Chung because he retired. Our cornerbacks are fine. Just draft a wide receiver.
You still got Gilly Lock too.
Exactly. Gilly Lock and Jonathan Jones and oh my gosh, I can't.
J.C. Jackson.
Jalen Mills.
J.C. Jackson. Oh, Jalen Mills too. Yes, that is a player that I was missing. We're good.
The Pats are back.
Exactly.
Double-digit wins next year. Mark my words.
Listen, I said 11-6 because they did add that 17th game. No more 8-8s for you Cowboy fans.
Nah, 8-1. Watch.
It's gonna be. Oh, I would pay so much money for the Cowboys to go 8-1. But listen, Bill, just draft me a nice wide receiver, not N'Keal Harry, who runs like he's got a brick on his back. So please, just do something correct, okay? But speaking of wide receivers, AB, man, he's still out there on the market. He had, the career was revitalized just a tad bit, I'll say.
He had a ring.
Yeah, got the ring. He went to Tampa Bay and didn't, throw furniture off a balcony or call somebody a cracker. So he
even didn't make a crazy rap song, whole lot of money.
Yo, that was bad. That was bad. Listen, I've made some bad decisions in life. Picking Josh as my co-host is one of them. But
no, your Carson Wentz for MVP was pretty bad.
Listen, I stand on that, and I'm going to pick Carson Wentz for MVP again. It'll be my ongoing joke until it actually happens, because it will. But anyway, AB, revitalized that career, got the ring. Shout out, NFL dad Tom Brady. But now he's getting some interest other places, which I didn't think would happen. I thought teams would have been done with him by now. But it's come out, maybe if he doesn't go back to the Bucs, the Seahawks are interested in him. And his cousin's been doing a little bit of recruiting because the Ravens are interested in him too. Now, listen, I kind of want him back on the Bucs because I think he owes Tom Brady his career. So I think he should go back to the Bucs, if anything. But if not, please go to the Seahawks. Please, AB, do me a favor, bro. Because if I get to see AB, DK, Tyler Lockett, and Russell Wilson, I'm good. I'm good. That's all I need in the NFL because that would be very fun. That's almost on the level of, the Godwin, Mike Evans type of situation. I think obviously Godwin's better than Lockett, and I'll still say Mike Evans is better than DK. I'm sorry.
Of course, it's a no-brainer.
Well,
I can't believe he even took a second of thought. That's like a no-brainer.
Josh.
Hey,
no,
what are we talking about here?
I will say, if he continues the progression, one day
that's what I'm
he
saying.
Might be better than Mike Evans. One day,
like if I'm picking one guy to have on my team right now, I'm probably still picking DK.
Well, yeah,
Mike Evans hasn't done anything in like 3 years.
True, DK might be the best defender on the field as well. I mean, with the way the Seahawks play defense, I'm surprised they didn't try to move him over. But anyway. They're interested there, so I'm praying for AB to the Seahawks because I think it'd be so fun. Have him run over the middle, do his nice route running. DK do the same thing. Tyler Lockett run on a streak. Why do did they go out and get a tight end? Am I?
I feel like
they had Greg Olsen last year, but he retired.
No,
I feel like they did get a tight end too.
I think they did.
Is that where Higbee went?
Yes.
Tyler
Yes.
Higbee.
That is where Higbee went. I'm pretty sure. Matt, you're gonna look it up for us, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna see Tyler Higbee. Let's see here. I mean, it still says he's on the Rams one. Let me. This is a good observation.
Everett left, not Higbee.
I don't know which one.
It
probably was.
It
Everett.
Says
Gerald Everett. I think
it might be. It might be Gerald Everett.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's.
Yeah,
I knew
Gerald
it was one
Everett.
of those.
Yep.
It's Gerald Everett. Okay.
Gerald Everett, and then Will Dissly, Luke Wilson.
Tight end position could be nice, with Everett. Add a little AB in there. I think it'd be real fun. Josh, if you're picking one of these teams, what you thinking here, boss?
I don't know why the Seahawks haven't already done everything to get him. After the scare they had this offseason of almost sending Russell Wilson to Chicago, you should be doing everything in your power to make sure he's happy. Give him all the weapons he wants. Spend all your money on that god-awful offensive line. So I don't know why they haven't gone after him yet. I hopefully that's where he ends up, because that'd be fun to see that offense with AB, Lockett, and Metcalf. But I could see the Ravens doing it too. They just signed Watkins, though, so I'm guessing AB was not like their number one option, or they didn't want him anymore. But yeah, I don't know why Seattle hasn't already done everything in their power to get him.
Yeah, I feel like Seattle would be a good spot for Antonio Brown, but if there's one team that I would love Antonio Brown to be on, it would
Josh,
be
can you guess
for
what
my
team it is?
It would be for my
The
Green Bay Packers.
Packers.
I would love to see Devontae Adams with Antonio Brown. And if Antonio Brown knows his place in being the number 2 receiver, you're talking Rodgers, Jones, Adams, Antonio Brown. I mean, that's an offense right there where if we can find a way to get Antonio Brown and another weapon in the draft, we'll be chilling, and we might finally get over the hump instead of losing the NFC Championship game for 2 consecutive years. And I'm banking on a 3rd straight year. I really think it might be a 3rd straight year where we take a fat L, probably to Tampa Bay or San Francisco. Probably won't be a shocker there. But hey, if we want to get over a hump, and I mean, if I'm the Packers, I want to do everything I can to make Rodgers happy, because one, his contract, he's got 2 years left. He's voiced his reasonings on, he still feels the same about Green Bay as he did last year, where he's kind of in the middle. Do what the man wants. If the man wants Antonio Brown, bring him Antonio Brown. If he doesn't want Antonio Brown, then don't worry about it. And please, Green Bay, don't waste your first 3 picks, because you want to hear this, Anthony? We drafted a third string quarterback in the first round last year, a 3rd string running back, and a 4th string tight end with our first 3 picks.
You know what we say that is, Matt? We say that's a tough life.
Yeah,
that's a tough life.
That's a tough life. And a tough life hopefully can get better if we draft day 1 starters. Please, just don't mess up the draft. Matt? And Antonio Brown, come to Green Bay. I mean, it may be a small town, but hey, you got Aaron Rodgers, one of the great quarterbacks who just won MVP. Go to the MVP. And last I checked, Russ Cook, it only lasts it's an 8-10 week warranty before he just crashes down a little bit. If you want a man that cooks all season long, Aaron Rodgers is right there.
Well, you know what, Matt? Speaking of all season long, you get to see Aaron Rodgers cook for one more game. I briefly mentioned it, and I don't think we got to talk about it too much because, listen, for us, it does nothing but add something for us in life. The NFL has officially agreed to that 17-game season. There's no more 8-8s, no more 9-7s. So what do we think? Just real quick, nothing crazy, because, I don't think that we're going to really disagree on this. Matt, you like the 17-game schedule?
I feel like it's interesting. This is the 17th game. I feel like it's definitely going to add more revenue. The only downside I would say is it kind of hurts those players that were drafted in the late round picks, because I feel like those 4 preseason games, those kind of determine, the underdog story on if a 6th or 7th round pick can make the team. Because in my humble opinion, the first 2 preseason games are for the main lower guys. The 3rd one is where you get the gain of your starters, and kind of that 4th and final preseason game, you kind of get a base of what your 53-man roster is going to be, maybe waiting on 2 to 3 more players. So that's the only downside there. But that 17th game, I feel like it's definitely going to determine who really is a team that's above 500 and who's below. Because, like you mentioned, there is no more 8-8. There's no more 8-8. There's no more 500. You can't. You're either good or you're bad. There's no mediocre middle. You're either 9-8 or you're 8-9. There's no in between. There's no in the middle. Unless if you somehow manage to tie and go 8-1. That if you go 8-1, you're just horrible. You're bad.
So the Cowboys would be 8-1. Good to know.
Yeah, if some team manages to pull off an 8-1 record, just please relegate out of the NFL, please, because that takes talent to be 8-1. But overall, 17th game, I feel like it's good. I hate that our 17th game is against the Kansas City Chiefs, but hopefully it's a Week 17 matchup of Jordan Love versus Chad Henne. Because
I'll tell you who doesn't hate it: every NFL fan. Literally every fan. That's the one thing I will say though. With that 17th game, I really like the way they did the scheduling. I think it's the same. What is it like? The same, like opposite division. Obviously, the NFC and the AFC they play, but it's like the same division, right?
No, it's different because if it were the same, we would have played the Pittsburgh Steelers. It would have been Packers versus Steelers, but instead it's Packers versus Chiefs.
You are right. But hey, listen, I don't care. Actually, whatever. I don't know how they did it, but they did a good job because that was one of the games that got added, so I'll take it. Josh, you like the 17 games? I know. Hey, listen, it's one more week of football. I ain't complaining.
Yeah, I like it. We saw how exciting it got when they added the extra wild card game, how interesting Week 16 was. So it's going to be just another week of that, so I'm excited for it. Obviously, the players have their the players have their opinions about it, but I feel like just as fans, we all are going to be excited about it. Another week of betting, another week of fantasy and everything. So
I have to lose more money. Let's go.
And one thing that this 17th game does, it makes Super Bowl weekend the Sunday and then President's Day on Monday. So that means you could party hard on Sunday and not have to go to work on Monday because Monday's President's Day.
Hey, I got a quick question. The Jazz are down by 8 and the Spurs are down by 10, and I have both of them in a parlay. I can cash out, and it's not good, but it's still. Should I save face now?
Well, how much money do you win if you cash out? Do you not get any in return?
Well, obviously a lot. Like I cash out for about half of what I bet.
All right, how much are the Jazz down by?
They're down by 8.
How much time is left?
The Mavericks. They're playing the Mavericks though. So
how much time?
Okay. It's about to be halftime.
Nah, stick with them. No,
stick with it. How about your team? How about your team that's down by 10?
How's the Spurs?
Spurs are playing the Cavs, and they're down 10 about halftime too.
I'm sticking. Nah,
yeah, stick
it, bro.
Now, here's the thing: if this were the end of the third quarter,
yeah,
or like early fourth, it's a different story. But it's halftime. There's plenty of time.
I hope, man. I just hate seeing the cash out, and then when I try to do it really late, it's gone, and I'm like, damn. I'm staying with it. I'm not cashing.
Yeah, there we go.
Listen, Josh, there's another thing that you can bet on anyway. And listen, like I said, college is my thing. But even I think I'll watch the national championship game tonight. So who's winning? Josh, who's winning? Oh, well, Matt's got Gonzaga. You going Gonzaga?
I've DraftKings has a cool bet. You get Gonzaga plus 4.5 at plus 100. So I feel like that's a steal because I do think Gonzaga is going to win, but this game is going to go one of two ways. It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be over by halftime for either team. Or it's going to come down to the two best teams in college basketball, and it's going to be very interesting to see. But I'm going for Gonzaga just because, they got a couple of NBA players on there that are going to do good things. So I think they'll win it. I hope they don't lose by more than 5, though.
I'll go Gonzaga too, just because Caleb called FaceTime me the other day. Might have slightly been intoxicated, just saying, during that UCLA game. And it was very entertaining, so he made me watch it. So Gonzaga hit that game winner. I found it fun. So you know what? Why not? And I also, their center, I think he's their center at least.
Flo Thamba?
Bro, the man looks 65 and 20 at the same time. So I'm rooting for him. I don't know why, but that makes me root for him. He looks a little he's the one with he's the ginger, right?
No, you're
Yeah,
talking
who's
about Timmy. Hey,
Yeah,
hey, Connie, no cap. You almost got that Timmy stash, almost.
Listen,
It's got to be a little more thicker along here, and then you got it down to a
listen,
T.
whoever that guy is, the ginger dude with the handlebar mustache, basically, I'm rooting for you, guy, because I couldn't tell if you were like 65 or not at first, even though you're in college. But we'll move on from there. We'll watch that game tonight. We'll go into a little bit of the NBA. The Clippers are in third place right now, and the Lakers have dropped down to 5. So we're getting there. Are we going to get that LA matchup in the first round? What you think, Josh? Think it's going to actually happen?
I really do, because the Blazers are close to, jumping up to pass the Lakers, and I would put the Lakers at 6. And then if, the Lakers hold the 6 and the Clippers hold the 3rd for the rest of the season, then we're seeing that 3-6 matchup between them. And then also the Lakers remain in 5th and the Nuggets pass the Clippers, we get the 4-5 matchup. So I really think it's going to happen, and I really want it, because the crazy thing is, if that happens, like in the first round, either the Jazz, the Nuggets, the Lakers, Clippers, and Suns, someone's going to lose. Like a lot of those teams are going to lose because they're all going to be facing each other. That's how stacked the West is. So I hope we get it. We're going to get it eventually, though, I think one way or another. So I'm excited for it, but I really hope it happens first round.
Definitely an interesting take. I don't think it'll happen in the first round. I feel like it might happen in round 2. I feel like for the Lakers, once the Lakers are healthy LeBron James, healthy Anthony Davis with Andre Drummond, that team is probably the top team in the Western Conference. I know the Jazz are looking good. No, I know the Suns and Clippers are looking good, but a fully healthy Lakers squad, in my opinion, is still probably the best team in the Western Conference. Maybe it's me being a homer because me being a Lakers fan, maybe a little homerism is showing, but I feel like if we're being honest, once LeBron James and Anthony Davis get fully healthy, the Lakers are going to finish in the top 3 in the Western Conference, whether that be 1 or 2 or 3. They just have to get healthy. Once Anthony Davis and LeBron James get healthy, as well as Andre Drummond, if I'm the Lakers, I'm not worried one bit.
Well, the only issue is like there's about 21 games left, and AD's out for still a couple weeks, and LeBron's probably out 3 to 4. So it's just about seeding is really what's going to set.
I feel like if I'm the Lakers, as long as I stay in the 3 to 5 range, I'd be okay. Now, if the Lakers somehow fall to 6 or 7 and have to play the Clippers or the Suns, it might be a slight concern in the first round. But if 4 or 5, if they got to play Denver in the first round, I feel like there's no worry. I feel like the Lakers win that easily in 5 or 6 games. Yeah, I feel like it'll be easy. Yes, they are definitely looking sus, and sus is 1 S, not 2 S's.
Oh. Mr. English class, Mr. English class over here.
Yeah, Mr. English class over here.
Listen, I agree with Josh. I don't know if it'll happen. I can't predict the future, but man, do I hope that happens. Just because I think it just creates a very fun storyline with, are the Clippers going to choke again? Is LeBron going to lose in the first round? Just going back and forth. It's going to be fun.
Here's one thing I will say. If somehow the Clippers beat the Lakers in the first round, I don't want to hear any more LeBron James go talk. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If he loses in the first round of the Clippers, I don't want to hear it. Now, if he wins title number 5 this year through all the injuries,
7 games though.
If it goes to 7, I mean, it has to go to 7. It has to go to 7. If they lose in 5 or 6 games, discussion's done.
He's never lost in the first round.
I think I would cry tears of joy if the Lakers got swept in the first round.
Oh man! If the Lakers got swept in the first round, no lie, I just laugh. I would laugh and be like, all right.
I know so many Lakers fans, and I have a nice little wager with Caleb that the Lakers were going to go back to back, so I would then win money as well. And
what's the wager?
I think it might be like $200.
Oh,
so
Connie
the boys
money.
Definitely hoping that it happens because if that happens, Caleb could be helping pay off my Xbox that I just got. So I would appreciate
Which one?
Which
you got 2 of them, don't you?
The other one went to my brother. That was a surprise. His
guy.
whoa. Listen, I wouldn't say too good of a guy because my brother's fiance bought it from me for him. I ain't giving away. Listen,
I thought you gave it.
listen, I ain't got Xbox Series X as presents money. Okay, let's calm down there. Maybe a nice stick of gum.
Nice stick of gum.
I don't know how I'm feeling about a whole Xbox is one of those. Yeah, I think LA versus LA would be fun, but we're gonna see what happens. What did happen though is the Bucks extending Drew Holiday with the 4-year, $160 million contract. You do a little quick math there, $40 million a year. I mean, hey, listen, is Drew Holiday a $40 million player a year? No, in my opinion, no. But here's the other thing. As we've seen from the Packers, Matt, free agents aren't exactly flocking to, go to Milwaukee or anywhere.
No. I mean, unless you talk to Reggie White or Charles Woodson, but that's many years ago.
You get somebody via trade who's a very good player, which is what Holiday is. You sign them because that's basically the only way you're going to get them is if you draft them or you trade for them. So I don't think the Bucks really had a choice in doing this. Is he a $40 million player? Probably not. But, I mean, there's been some outlandish contracts handed out in the NBA, and I don't think that this would even rank in the top 5 of them. So I'm not going to kill the deal. I'm not going to sit here and act like it was the greatest thing since sliced bread either. But, you lock up Drew Holiday, Giannis is locked down, Middleton's locked down. So you got your core going forward. Now it's all about surrounding it with pieces, word to the Nets, who got literally everybody. And you see what happens. Josh, you hating on the deal or what's good?
I think in general, you look at the other guys getting $40 million a year. Drew Holiday he's really good. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the best, if not the best wing defender in the league. His last 10 games, he's averaging 26. So he's really stepping it up. But just compared to the other guys, they're not really in the same category. It's been a long time since Drew Holiday was an all-star. But I think the last time he was in Philly. So I think for the Bucks, it's a good signing because he's there. Your window is right now with Giannis, with Middleton. They're not going to get too much better than they already are, other than Giannis will. But I think it's a good move for them. They overpaid in trading for him, so you better get the most out of him. So I'm guessing that's why they extended him. But if he can keep the play up that he's been playing like recently into the playoffs, I feel like that's really where we're going to see if he's worth this money, his play in the playoffs. So for now, I think it's a good signing. But if he chokes in the playoffs, if he's just someone that can't come up in those big moments, then they're probably going to regret this.
I want to agree with you guys. I feel like this is a deal. This is a deal that the Bucks had to make. Like Connie mentioned earlier, by flaming my Green Bay Packers, nobody wants to go to Wisconsin. Nobody wants to go be in Wisconsin in November, December. Yeah, even Wisconsin don't want to go to Wisconsin. And I think what this move signifies for the Bucks is kind of like what you guys mentioned earlier. Giannis, Holiday, Middleton. That's your core. In these next 2 to 3 years, you have to bring a championship to Milwaukee for this signing to work. Because if you don't win a championship in these next 2 to 3 years, then why would you go all in for Drew Holiday if you were just going to be a second round exit? That you could have easily done that just with Giannis. And I feel like this year with the Bucks, the Bucks are in an interesting spot because right now they're the 3rd seed at 32-17, but ahead of them are the Sixers and the Nets. The Nets overall are the cream of the crop in the Eastern Conference. They had to stop the Nets from signing him. That would be very interesting, the amount of cap space, how the Nets would have been able to sign him. But, I feel like the Bucks this year, with this signing of Drew Holiday, it's a hit or miss.
Oh, let's go. My uncle John Carlos Stanton with a grand slam.
Hey, it's not just a grand slam, it's a grand salami.
Yes, it is.
Oh, shouldn't it be Daddy Stanton, or is that?
No, Aaron Judge is the dad.
Jeez, Matt, come on.
Stanton's the cool uncle. Gary Sanchez is my favorite cousin.
Was he your favorite cousin last year?
No. Garrett Cole is like my big brother. but that like the cool big brother, not the one that annoys you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing all right now. I got a whole fam. But anyway,
All
continue. My
right.
bad.
Well, that's solid. I feel like the Bucks this year are stuck in the middle. Even though they are the 3rd seed, if they got to verse the Nets in the 2nd round, there is no way they're beating the Brooklyn Nets. There's no way. If they got to verse the Brooklyn Nets, they're losing in 6 games. If they got to verse Philadelphia in round 2, it's going to 6 or 7 games. And if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks with the kind of roster that they have, I don't think it's championship material. Even though they re-signed Drew Holiday, which they had to, I just don't think it's enough. It's the Bucks are in an interesting spot. I mean, I feel like they should have made a move somehow, some way, try to land Bradley Beal by any means necessary to try and win a championship, and they didn't do it. So I feel like the Bucks, they're a team right now that's stuck in 2nd round conference finals, but this isn't a championship team in Milwaukee, if I'm being honest, because you're not beating Brooklyn and you're not beating Philadelphia. If you somehow manage to beat either one of those teams, if you got to verse the Lakers or Clippers in the finals, you're not beating either one of those teams. Hell, even if the Jazz make it to the finals with some sort of pixie dust, maybe a hot take, but I don't think they could even beat the Jazz. So, me personally, is it a move the Bucks had to make? Yes, they had to re-sign Drew Holiday. But will it help improve the team? No. They're most likely a team that's going to be stuck in 2nd round exit or conference finals exit. Nothing special. I don't think this isn't a team that makes it to the NBA finals. Now, next year, they possibly can. But this year, no. They're not making it to the finals. They'll make it to the 2nd round or conference finals and ultimately lose in 6 or 7 games in either one of those 2 rounds.
Yeah, this is the one year I'm kind of excited for the playoffs. You don't really know what's going to happen. I think last year we didn't really know what was going to happen either, but
oh, come on. We knew what was going to happen. You knew the Lakers were going to win the chip. Come on.
I don't know. A lot of people had faith in the Clippers, including myself.
I knew the Clippers were going to show. I called it. When I made a little playoff bracket, I'm like, somehow, some way, the Clippers are going to find a way to lose to Denver. And what happens?
I really can't believe that. I still can't believe that happened. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But with that, you know what else is unbelievable? This is what's unbelievable. Speaking of those Nuggets, Matt, you're really doing good. Do you have the Google Doc up?
No.
Bro, because you're doing a great job with these like little transitions and like it's what a professional.
Hey, they call me Wise Cheese, Connie.
That's true. That is true. The Nuggets haven't lost his trade for Aaron Gordon. I'm just saying, just saying. Is this the championship team? Is this the championship run the Nuggets are going on? Was Aaron Gordon, Mr. 2-time the People's Slam Dunk champion, the missing piece? Matt, what do you think?
Here's one thing I love is jersey number 50. I love that he's poking he's poking a jab at Dwayne Wade for giving him a 9 out of 10. That's why he's got a 50 on his back. Wow. I love that. I love that he's got the 50.
I don't know if that's factually true.
It is.
Look it up. I had no idea.
He told D-Wade post-game. He told D-Wade post-game.
That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. That just blew my mind. Like when I was told that Elizabeth Olsen was related to the Olsen twins, that I had no idea about. But that's a mind blower right there. That's A1 stuff right there. But anyway, continue. What do you think?
It is A1 stuff. One thing I will say, it might be. I mean, the Nuggets, they struggled earlier in the season. I will say that. But they're starting to catch fire. This team did make it to the Western Conference Finals last year. And if they can get a good seeding, if the Nuggets could get in the top 3 seed, I feel like they could possibly make another run. And even if they were a 4th seed, as long as they don't get matched up with the Lakers in the first round, the Nuggets are at least advancing to round 2. At least to round 2. Because I feel like if they got it versus the Trailblazers, I say they win that easily 5-6 games. And then you got round 2, you'll probably have to go up against either the Jazz, the Clippers, either one of those. I mean, it's a toss-up, but this is definitely a Nuggets team where they could be like the Miami Heat of last year, be a 4th or 5th seed and make a dark horse run to the conference finals or the NBA finals. I mean, they definitely have the capability to do that. But I wish they would have added my man Bradley Beal. If the Nuggets would have added Bradley Beal during the trade, and don't get me wrong, they are undefeated while adding Aaron Gordon. But if you could have added Bradley Beal to that Nuggets roster, that's the finals right there.
Oof. That would have been real tough for the NBA world. Real tough.
Good for the city of Denver.
They need something good because they don't got much. But Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I love the move. Aaron Gordon, in Orlando, he was good, but they drafted him to be that guy, be their star, and that's not him. The role he's playing now in Denver, it fits him perfectly. He doesn't have to be the first, second, even sometimes the third option. It just adds even more depth to them. Before the Nets added LaMarcus and Blake Griffin, I think the Nuggets were easily the deepest team in the league. They still have all that depth now. Even with Gordon, Gary Harris is someone that started for them when they had to give up for Aaron Gordon, but he did not put up the production that Aaron Gordon's been doing for them. So, I mean, we saw what they were able to do last year. If Jokic can keep playing like this, I mean, his efficiency is it's all-time great right now. So if they can keep playing like this, if Jamal Murray can have another crazy playoff run like he did last year, and if they can all just stay healthy, I think they can definitely make a title run depending on, how the Jazz are in the playoffs. But I definitely think they're built for it.
Yeah, like you said, it just adds depth to them. I mean, you look at their roster now. You still have Murray, Jokic, obviously. Josh, I think is that your MVP still?
It is. It is my MVP still.
So you got obviously the MVP candidate there. I love me some Michael Porter. Love it. Love him. So you got him. Now you add Aaron Gordon. Like you said, he can be your 3rd option, 4th option, maybe 5th option on some nights. And like you said, Josh, I think it was a perfect thing. They drafted him to be, their Orlando savior, and we've seen it. That's not what he is. He's a decent player who can contribute to a winning team like he's doing to the Nuggets right now. And I mean, I didn't even know that they were undefeated with him in the lineup until you made the Google Doc, and that's
betting on him. I bet every game he's been in, man, making a little bit of money off that.
And you know what the crazy part is, Matt?
What's the crazy part?
Not one time did Josh tell me to bet on them.
You don't deserve it, man. I asked you one.
The
first time I asked Connie for bets, he gives me nothing but losers and a team that wasn't even playing that day.
Whoa. First of all, it was opening day baseball. I should have known better to bet on it because you don't know what's going to happen. And second of all, it's not my fault that all of a sudden the Nationals want to get Corona and don't play a game. How was I supposed to know? So you're playing the wrong people. But anyway, I kind of hope it is a missing piece to them. I think it would just be really fun for them to go deep into the playoffs. Maybe even make the finals. I think it would just be fun. A new team, obviously. I don't think we've seen. When's the last time the Nuggets were in the finals?
I don't think they've ever been.
I don't think they've ever been.
The
closest they've ever been.
Even better.
Melo, and then last year.
Yeah.
So get a new team in there in the playoffs. Have a little Nets Nuggets. I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do
if you want to go. I'm sorry. If you want to go crazy, you go Milwaukee and Denver.
Nah, I want to see the Nets, bro. I gotta see. No, you want to know
you gotta see New York be happy for once.
Well, I'm already happy. I'm a Yankee fan, so I'm chilling. I'm good. Yeah. But I mean, listen, I think Yankees gonna win the World Series this year. Nets win the championship. I don't know, man. New York brings back some titles because it's been a little rough recently.
Hey, I don't know, man. Don't sleep on a Dodgers repeat. I don't know. Don't say. Hey, Dodgers Yankees World Series though. I'm
going. I don't care if a ticket. Oh, I'm going. I don't care if a ticket is $1,000 at Yankee Stadium. I'm going to a Yankee World Series game if it's Yankees Dodgers. Are you kidding me?
So what you're saying is if the price was right and if you had to cut off your finger to go to a Yankees World Series,
well, which finger?
Your index finger, number one.
Your thumb, your right thumb.
I can't do the index or the right. I'll give up a ring finger. I'll give up a ring finger.
Josh just said a right thumb.
Yeah, well, that's just not happening. Josh, you're out of your mind.
Could you imagine living without a right thumb?
Ask your dog how it is.
He's trying to take it. He's trying to take my thumb right now.
Well, you know what? We're going to do some predictions right now. We'll do this quickly. I don't want to keep the people too much on because, now that Matt's here, I want to get into some baseball as well. So we'll do this quick, nice and fast. NBA award predictions. Josh, I'll start with you. I'm going to read it off. You tell me the player. Does that sound like a deal, both of you?
Yep.
All right. MVP.
Jokic.
Rookie of the year.
Anthony Edwards.
Defensive player of the year.
Gobert or Giannis.
Let me get a sixth man.
Without a doubt, Jordan Clarkson. No one even close.
Most improved.
I'll go RJ Barrett or Julius Randle. One of the Knicks. One of those two.
And coach of the year.
Definitely Quinn Snyder for the Jazz. Even if they don't win the finals, got to give it to the regular season coach.
All right, Matt, on to you. MVP.
MVP, I got to agree with Josh. I got to go Jokic.
Let me get that rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year, Anthony Edwards.
Defensive player of the year.
I'm going with Giannis.
Sixth man.
Got to be Jordan Clarkson.
Most improved.
Julius Randle.
I like that. Coach of the year.
This may be a hot take, but I'll go on Tom Thibodeau. What Tom Thibodeau has able to do with the New York Knicks, turning them around to a playoff contender, got to be coach of the year.
I hate you for that. But I was going to take that one. All right, I'll do me now. MVP. Give me John Maz Harden. Give me James Harden, okay? I'm telling you right now. Give me James. I know that he switched teams and all that, wore the fat suit to get off the Rockets. But give me James. Rookie of the year, got to go Edwards. It probably would have been Melo or LaMelo. Let me not disrespect the actual Melo. Defensive player of the year, I'll stick with Giannis. Six man, got to go Jordan Clarkson. Obviously, most improved, I agree with Matt and somewhat Josh. I got to go Julius Randle. I mean, come on, bro. And then coach of the year, I was going to take Thibodeau, but Matt stole it, so I don't want to be the same. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know who the coach is, but I want the coach of the Suns.
Monty Williams.
Monty Williams. Give me Monty Williams, baby. Why not?
I like that, especially because I believe he's got the Suns at he got the Suns at 2 seed.
I think I got to cash out. I think I should cash out.
What's the update now?
Spurs are down 14, man.
Ooh.
The Jazz are only down 5, and I need the Suns to win by 8.5 by halftime, and they're up 5. So it's all looking good except for the Spurs. And the cash out's for about a quarter of what I bet now.
Well, how much did you bet?
Don't worry about it. It's just about a quarter of what I bet.
So you're losing money still?
I'm losing a lot of money.
Even if you cash out, you're losing a lot of money?
It's either I cash out right now or run the risk of losing it all.
You know what? I would run the risk, bro.
Well,
the Spurs are down 14.
How much would you lose?
I'm not giving numbers, okay? I'd only make back a quarter of what I bet.
You got to give the people the numbers. You got it.
No, the people don't need to know nothing about my numbers.
The people need to help you out, Josh.
Give me this.
Would you take a quarter of what you bet versus risking to make all the money that you would on the bet, or nothing?
Bro, I'm telling you, let it ride.
I like
how
risk.
much time is left in the Spurs game?
9 minutes in the third, but they have been playing bad.
It's the Cavs.
One run can change everything, and it's Popovich.
I'm waiting for it, but I'm not seeing nothing, man.
Hold it. I'd say let it ride.
I would hold, but you know what, Josh? Is not my money.
I'm gonna.
That is true. That is true. It's not.
You never get into another man's pockets. You never get into another man's pockets. So you know what, Josh? I'm gonna let you live. And you know, while you do that, I'll let you ponder, because Matt, it's a little baseball. It's baseball season, baby.
It is.
And like Josh said, and like we said, Josh, he's trying.
He's got ERA down.
He's got ERA. He's got backstop down.
Couple players.
Yes, sir.
Do you know Thor?
Thor?
Yeah.
As in the God of Thunder?
No, the baseball nickname Thor.
No, I'll give you a pass on that one though. I'll give you a pass on that.
It was Noah Syndergaard.
He does. Josh, look him up. Noah Syndergaard.
Is he the guy that played for the Giants?
No,
Pitcher?
Mets. He played for the Mets. He had long blonde hair. They called him Thor. He had a flamethrower of an arm.
That he still does. I would assume so.
Oh,
but Matt, it was opening week last Thursday. Obviously, my Yankees not off to the best start. I'm okay with it, as we talked in the pre-show lobby. But you know what? What are you thinking of the season so far from the Dodgers' point of view? And then, if there's any other storylines going around in the MLB that you were interested in.
Well, Dodgers got a good series win against the Rockies, 3-1. I love the inside the park home run. It was
Actually,
number 8.
Hold on, Matt. Before you say anything else, I would just like to stake my claim that I absolutely hate the Dodgers because I lost my parlay because that game against the Rockies, they couldn't win by more than 1 run. And they're out here with a 2-run lead twice. And both times they let up a run the next inning. So I officially hate them. But continue.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good, solid series win by the Dodgers. The one thing I'm looking forward to is that home opening series whenever they unveil that championship banner. I feel like it's going to be great for the city of Los Angeles. And, I just hope for the Dodgers to keep it up. Trevor Bauer looked good for 6 innings. Obviously, he got roughed up in the 7th. David Price was horrible in the bullpen against Colorado. That slightly concerns me, especially with him getting up there in age. So hopefully it is the first week. Maybe David Price, he'll kick it in gear towards later on the season. But there's one thing I did love. I loved Julio Urias last game. 7 dominant innings of work. Looked phenomenal. Looked like the Julio that I knew in the playoffs, closing out the NLCS and the World Series. He looked phenomenal. Definitely loved seeing that. A little blooper. That Bellinger home run was definitely one of the biggest bloopers I've ever seen. I don't know what the hell Justin Turner was doing, running back the base path. But if there's one thing, Josh, you take notes as well. One thing as a baseball runner, know where the ball is because you don't want to be like a buffoon in Justin Turner where you run backwards and then Bellinger crosses up. And instead of it being a 2-run homer, it's a 1-run single.
Here's my thing, though, with that whole situation. Like, me and Michael talked about this on Banter. That was such a stupid play, though. And I don't even blame Turner because he wasn't sure that if it was caught. The umpires didn't call it a home run or anything. So he's tagging up or whatever. I don't understand how that play happens because in my head, both of the runners should have been allowed to score for the simple fact that nobody knew, including the umpires, what was happening. That's like in the NFL or something like that, if they scored a touch, actually, no, it happens in the NFL all the time where they score a touchdown and then all of a sudden they call it back because the ref blew the whistle. Like, it was just a stupid situation. Like, I felt like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I understand it in every other term. Like the fact, if you're just faster than the other runner and you accidentally go ahead of him, you're out. Cool. Understand that. You're just dumb for doing it. But on a play like that where nobody knows what's happening, I don't understand how you can enforce that rule. Like I thought it was dumb.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and one thing that I believe is also dumb: Nicholas Castellanos getting suspended two games for enforcing the brawl. That was BS. He did not deserve a suspension at all. I feel I don't know why the MLB does this. Why does the MLB give out BS suspensions? Like Yadier Molina gets no suspension, understandable. But there's no reason that Castellanos should have been suspended. And what did he do that was even suspendable? All he literally did was just stand over the pitcher and flex on him. Like what? Like
baseball, that's a cardinal sin. That's one of the 7 deadly sins in baseball.
Yeah, and that's why baseball doesn't get as much traction as other sports like NFL and NBA. Because NFL, NBA, a lot of people have fun. You see good celebrations, aka Juju and Corvette. You get to see. You just see NBA players do killer 3-point celebrations like Melo with that. Yeah, you even see the bench do celebrations. But for baseball, for some reason, whenever you pimp out a homer, you get beaten the next pitch, and then there's a brawl. It doesn't make sense. In my humble opinion, I don't like it when a pitcher, I gave up a homer and let me beat the next batter. Nah, you a punk-ass bitch for beating him. It's not my fault you gave up a bomb, and then because what I do if I were Homer, just stand up, I go, bam, pimp it, throw it, see ya. I'm walking on the bases because I just pimped it. I just swung the hell out of it, and I thought it was good. But overall, the suspension is BS. And other than that, first week of baseball, I say it's good. My fantasy baseball team is starting to make a comeback. I was down big, but shout out to Jordan Montgomery and Tommy Edman for getting some solid hits.
Jordan's having a pretty good game.
Yeah, he's having a pretty good game. I love to see that, and I did like me some Garrett Cole. He did do good opening day, and hopefully, and hopefully, let's see what our teams do respectively in the playoffs. Obviously, Connie, big Yankees fan, me, a big Dodgers fans. We're not worried about April. No. We're worried about September, October.
You know what? It's the same thing, being a Patriots fan. As Bill Belichick always says. Okay, you find out about your team by Thanksgiving. Belichick usually uses the month of September as preseason anyway. That's what April is in baseball. Okay, Listen, I ain't worried. You can lose the season. They always say you can't win it in April, but you can lose it. I don't think either one of our teams are going to lose it in April, especially the Yankees, because the AL East, is not going to be that good. The Blue Jays are going to be good. They'll be solid.
Tampa will be respectable.
Yeah, but I don't think either one of those teams are on the Yankees level. They have the bases loaded again right now. DJ LeMahieu up 6-0 already. So
and one thing that I will say that you can agree on: the Boston Red Sox stink.
Oh my God, I don't know
the Boston Red Sox. Woo. I mean, you talk about rock bottom. I think they got swept by the Orioles.
Getting swept by the Orioles is basically like being
that's down bad.
That's like losing to the Cleveland Browns that went 0-16.
Getting swept. Swept.
In the season series, like if you were the Steelers and you got swept by the 0-16 Cleveland Browns, that's what you just did. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing, But I'm happy this baseball season is finally underway. Got something to watch every night, I'll tell you that. It's not like football where you got to wait for that one day and then it's all over and you got to wait again. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that it's an everyday thing. Ohtani is going to be a fun story, him being the first. I think he threw the fastest pitch and had the fastest home run, exit velocity.
And I want to pray for a speedy recovery for Shohei Ohtani. My fantasy team needs him because when he got split into the plate.
That's my thing. I don't know. I think it's cool. It brings a lot of attention to baseball, which I'm always down for. But it's going to be hard for him to do both at one time. Because what if he takes a line drive back, while he's pitching, as DJ rifles one through the first baseline, as he always does, because he's the only actual pure hitter left in baseball. But, what happens if he takes a line drive off of his leg or arm while he's pitching, and then you lose him as a pitcher and a hitter for an extended period of time? What happens if he fouls the ball off his foot? And, I don't know if he can do both. I think the doing both thing is really going to bite them, especially because the thing that a lot of people don't think about too, obviously the AL has the DH. If Ohtani pitches and bats the same day, what happens all of a sudden if Ohtani is terrible as a pitcher, like he was in spring training? Obviously, he pitched good last night, but in spring training got bad. So what happens if he goes 2 innings and gets absolutely rocked? Then that means you have to have your relief pitchers. So that means your bench is gone. Your bench is going to be gone by like the 6th inning because you're going to have to bring in pinch hitters for your relievers. And then after that, you're going to have AL relief pitchers batting. We think pitchers batting is bad enough, but AL relief pitchers going up to bat? I would literally rather go outside and cut my grass with scissors than watch that. So it's going to be an interesting season. But you know what? We kept the people here long enough. Got my little baseball talking with Matt. It's always a good time. You know what? We'll go to the final segment of the show. One of our favorites around here. Stop the cap. Matt, I don't know if you've stuck around for as long. So, this is
I have seen some of the Stop the Cap.
Exactly. So, I get to call each other out. Or, it doesn't even have to be one of us. It can be, something over in the sports world that is just so stupid that's currently going on. But you're our guest. Go first.
I will say throughout this episode, I didn't really hear a lot of capsual things that you guys said. So I'm not stopping the cap between you two. I'm stopping the cap on Robert Manfred. What the hell is Rob Manfred doing, bro? First, you move the All-Star game out of Atlanta, and now you suspend Nicholas Castellanos for 2 games for basically flexing over a pitcher that gave him a bad tag. Stop the cap, Rob Manfred. Come on, bro. This is why no one likes you. This is why no one watches the MLB. Stop the cap, Rob Manfred. Fire this man ASAP.
ASAP, no Rocky, as some people would say. Josh?
DraftKings needs to stop the cap. I tried to cash out when you guys were talking MLB. I was ready to give up. And I went to cash out, and when it said processing, it changed of what the cash out was from like a quarter of what it was to like an eighth of what the original bet was. So now I'm just writing it out, the Jazz are down 8, the Spurs are down 16, and the Rockets and Suns are tied heading into the second quarter. So,
you know what, Josh? I got nothing but faith. I really do have nothing but faith.
Stop the cap is on the Spurs. I know they're better than this.
Yeah.
No way the Cavs with 0 big men active should be beating them by 16, let alone.
Looking like the Houston Rockets of last year with that small ball lineup.
I swear.
I'm going to stop the cap on Yankee fans, okay? Listen, I am one of them, but some
your own people.
My own people. Because let me tell you something, my fellow New York Yankee fans, you guys make it real hard to defend the Yankees and make people not hate us. Like, listen, I understand Stanton's making a whole lot of money. He went 0 for 5 on opening day, 3 strikeouts. Guess what? He was our best player in the playoffs. The man, every single thing he hit was a home run. Just hit a grand slam in this game. You're gonna boo him after opening day. This is what we're doing. And then you got to go on Twitter, and everybody acts like the sky is falling because we lost the opening series to the Blue Jays. It is literally difficult being a Yankee fan sometimes with how stupid people are. Like, it actually hurts my head. Like, listen, Yankees, the last 7 to 10 opening series, opening day series, they've lost. This happens. It's a 162-game season. This is not the NFL. Losing a game or losing 2 out of 3 games does not do anything.
Yeah, and it's April. It's April 5th.
It is
not October.
April.
Not October 5th.
Yeah.
Not October 5th. April 5th.
This isn't the divisional. This isn't the ALDS where if you go down, 2 games, you're in trouble. It is April 5th. The season ends in October. Shut up. But with that being said, stop the cap, Yankee fans. You're pissing me off. But to end the show, got to thank the sponsors as always. I'm just giving you guys a warning right now. My father, Aaron Judge, is up right now with the bases loaded. If he hits a grand slam, I'm going to tweak. So I'm just giving you the warning. It's a nice 2-1 count right now.
I was gonna say you should take off your shirt if
listen. Nobody wants to see
that.
I promise you, nobody wants to see that. Okay.
That'd be hilarious though.
But
would it not bring the people on the stream?
Oh, it would do something to the people. I just don't know what it would do. If you're into the betting world, like Josh certainly is, make sure you head over to mybookie.ag, and use code US100 to double your first deposit. Nice 3-1 count right now. Oh, please give him a meatball down the middle. I'm begging you. Go over to MyBookie, use code US100, doubles your first deposit up to $1,000. Check it out. Bet on the national championship game if it hasn't already started. I literally don't even know what time it starts.
It starts at like 8:20, 9:20 Eastern time.
9:20?
Yeah, it's a late one.
No, the NCAA don't give a shit about us East Coasters. Oh my God, on a Monday?
That's because they got a team from the West Coast.
On a Monday? Come on, son. But anyway, mybookie.ag, US 100 doubles your first deposit. RxHemp-USN saves you 10% on your entire order. Go check them out if you're a little sore from life, as I always like to say. Get some CBD cream. You'll feel brand new in the morning. Unwrapped. Not the Patreon either. Jesus. Teespring.com/stores/unwrapped. Make sure you go and check them out. Okay, it was a foul ball. My bad. Make sure you go and check them out. Check out our merch. Buy some of our merch, people. Okay, the network has its own merch, and then obviously, if you enjoyed a wonderful show like this, which I don't know how you couldn't, we're fantastic. Go buy some Generationl sports merch. Put a little moolah in me and Josh's pocket. Matt, if you want to go out there and buy some as well, I wouldn't be against it. So anybody, go buy some merch for everybody. Go support all of the shows on the network. We all do a wonderful job pumping out content for the people. And then finally, the Patreon. Patreon.com/unwrapsports. $1, you're letting us know that you like what we do. As Judge looks at a strike right down the middle. What the fuck? So $1, you let us know you like what we do. $5, you get entered into a gift card giveaway. You also get 10% off the store I was just talking about, and you get access to our Discord chat where you're like an honorary member of the fam. And then finally, the $10 route is everything I just said, except that 10% discount goes to 20, and you get entered into signed memorabilia giveaway each month. Last month, we gave away that David Montgomery jersey. Shout out Garrett from Iowa, our fellow Bears fan, actually ended up winning it. So perfect for him. I don't know what it is this month yet, but when I know, you guys will know as well. So make sure you check that out. That's all I got. Got to give, this is your time, Matt. What you got for the people before we head on out?
Well, for the people, my Twitter handle is down below at Matt_Skura, Instagram at Matt_Skura20. And check out me and my great friend Caleb Connor have our very own podcast called MCS Real Sports Podcast. We talk all things NBA, NFL related. You name it, we talk about it. We've done 50 episodes so far, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it. We're available everywhere. Make sure you guys check that out. And I appreciate you guys bringing me on. It's been a long time in the making. I'm finally glad I got to be on this special show.
Yes, sir. Josh?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Jolin_4. We have a YouTube channel, Generationl Sports. Make sure you go and subscribe there, and make sure you tune in next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, sir. As for me, you know what it is. It's Monday, 7 Eastern. Me and Josh do this show where we talk about everything. Tuesday, a.k.a. tomorrow, I got the hard count with CJ. Me and him go live at 9. We switched it over from 10 o'clock, make it a little easier on us East Coast people. 9 o'clock, make sure you check that out. Everything that's going on in the football world, we will be filling you in on that. Obviously, going to talk a little bit more about the Sam trade and all the ramifications that brings to the NFL world. Thursdays is Backstop Banter. Me and Michael do that show. Everything in the baseball world. And let me tell you, it made our job a lot easier having baseball finally come back. So we are excited about that. Anthony Connor _ for the Twitter. Gen Z Sports is for this show's Twitter. And then I have my Twitch account where I put all my podcasts and do a little bit of gaming, especially with the new setup. I'll be getting more back into it. And especially when school ends, because school is kicking my ass right now. But that is Anthony _Connor. So make sure you go and check out the Twitch as well. But it was an app. Oh my gosh, I just had a stroke. It was a great show. Matt,
Quick update. The Jazz are down 16 and the Spurs are down 18.
18?
16? They were just down 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, bro. I should have cashed out.
Damn.
Well, you know what? It is, as I said, a tough life. But thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for watching us, Matt. Pleasure, as always, to have you. Josh, I'll unfortunately see you next week. But until then, we are out of here.